Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Storytime with Rob. And I can't believe it, but today is Friday. And you know what that means. Yes, you do. It's Festive, Fabulous Friday, Self Improvement Saturday. And today I have a unique story for you. I came across this just last night as I was reading through some materials, and I just couldn't get it off of my mind for some reason. And so I spent, about 2 hours this morning actually working on this, trying to put this together. And this is a story about restoring sight to the blind tens of thousands of times and not nearly enough. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learned something from this as much as I did. Needless blindness. The vast majority of blindness in the world is unnecessary, caused by cataracts, actually and curable with a 5-minute surgery. High costs kept the surgery out of reach of many millions of Nepalese ophthalmologist Dr. Sanduk Rut saw differently and invented a way to cure blindness for the poor everywhere. This is the work of the Himalayan Cataract Project, the most inspiring, innovative nonprofit you've never heard of. Dr. Andrews, one of the ophthalmologists in this area, smiles and says, "He's not blind, he just can't see. Opacities have developed on the lenses inside his eyeballs, preventing light from penetrating." Dr. Andrew, an optometrist from the Wartburg Eye Center in Accra, Ghana, visited Zubaru's town several weeks ago to conduct an eye screening and identify all those with cataracts as candidates for surgery. Most heard about the eye screening through public announcements orchestrated by a young man named Jonica Akum. Jonica had seen his own father's sight restored a couple years prior and has since taken it upon himself to dispel people's fears that the surgery won't work, or worse, that doctors will steal their eyeballs. Located 50 kilometers straight west of Accra, the Wartburg Eye Center is a state-of-the-art designed and built by Dr. Waif, a legend and a leading ophthalmologist in Africa. This week, as he has done hundreds of times before, Dr. Bo, as he prefers to be called, and his team are hosting a campaign, get this, to complete as many surgeries as possible for free. They turn no one away. With 3 ophthalmologists in their operating theater, a couple ophthalmologists led by Dr. Andrew in the exam rooms, a dozen nurses, and a flurry of administrative staff shuffling between them all, every minute of each 15-hour day is maximized to achieve the goal: 400 sight-restoring surgeries a week. Many people say in our local language, it's better to die than to be blind. Dr. Bo pauses heavily. I've also known some patients who have taken their own lives, especially those with glaucoma. And so when there's an opportunity to make someone see again, I make it a priority, he said. You see, when someone is blind from cataract, especially those in the villages, they can't go to the farm, so they are not productive at all. Somebody has to sit with him or her, and then in Ghana, most people who are blind, you see them with school-age children holding their hands. So the child stops school to take their grandfather or father to the hospital. So apart from the man who is not productive at all, the child who is leading them is going to be affected. So there's a need to ensure that we can tackle these cataract problems. So those who are in the active age can go back to school or work and be productive, explains Dr. Deborah of the Himalayan Cataract Project in Ghana. Having done this work since 1985, much of the continent, it's life or death, he knows. Most cataracts are a result of age, but others can be a result of malnutrition, inadequate eyewear, or trauma. These causes more common in young people. But it's clear in Ghana, Ethiopia, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Rwanda, and Nepal that sight restoration does save lives and builds families, communities, and countries. Yes, we are doing well, but not well enough to clear the huge backlog we have. They have over 200,000 people ready to have this surgery. And at the very most that they've ever accomplished in 1 year was 20,000. It's a wonder that anyone makes it to the hospital at all, given that what the hospital really needs now is a new road. Given the condition of the path leading from where the main road, many trenches, not potholes, of water and piles of rubble along the way. It's difficult to drive, to say nothing of walking it blind. Even the most skilled drivers get stuck, and this is the dry season. In the hours between patients and accompanying family members are fed dinner, then brought to the second floor where sleeping mats have been provided. By dawn, many will have congregated back downstairs, eager to go through the whole process again to have their second eye done. So they do one eye one day and one eye the next. And they let them stay there, and they feed them and let them sleep. The morning after the surgery, when you open the patches on eyes and you see some of the patients excited, that is wonderful, says Dr. Deborah. This week, he and the staff enjoy that moment over 400 times. The women are particularly expressive when their patches are removed. Emily Tavokia can't wait to go to church Sunday to testify and happily points out the colors on my shirt. Her joy is a welcome encouragement to those still waiting, either with patch or tape. Today, she could see colors, and in coming weeks, her vision will sharpen slowly, slowly. Every other sentence, she pauses to sing a song of thanks. Across the room, I see a young 10-year-old boy with a patch over his right eye. It looks like a badge of honor. How brave and how much life he has yet to live. Yet there's so much money in ophthalmology if you set up in the city where people can afford it, says Dr. Bowe. But I thought, if it wasn't for the facility where my grandmother went, I'm sure she would have died blind. So I just needed to give back to the community, and that's it. I've not lacked anything from doing good to people. That's my calling. I think, I dream about eyes. Everything about eyes, Dr. Bowe smiles humbly. Never in my life have I met a man who leaves restored sight in his wake, sustainably, generously, everywhere he goes. And he keeps going wherever the need is with a humble spirit and a smile. I got to show you this picture of this is just a typical morning in his lobby. As you can see, that's a typical morning in the lobby of the people waiting to have the surgery done. And this right here is Dr. Bowe and his wife, who is also his nurse. Isn't that fabulous? It's incredible to me. As far as I'm concerned, he's a hero. I've been with him through thick and thin, on horrible roads and up and down. For me, I think he's a hero, admits Dr. Deborah. This story really touched me personally. As I read it, I thought to myself, could there possibly be anything more Christ-like than the story of Dr. Bo? He has literally spent his entire life and career physically healing the blind. Well, we all can't do everything, but we can do something. I hope you enjoyed this today, and I hope you go out and do something great and fantastic this weekend. And until tomorrow, be safe.